So today we're having a look at a game called Terra Nil. So this was recently featured on E3. It is going to come out, the full version of this game, later this year, but just look at it. I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful game, and it's one of these cases where I just feel like visual fidelity and something being beautiful really just isn't necessarily the same thing. And I think this game just really illustrates that. But I have a really interesting story for you to tell about what ties this game, me, my experiences in sort of pre-primary school with a friend that I had back then, and sort of life, all of that together, because I realized something as I played this game. But I want to sort of get straight into it before I start telling you this story. And it's just, you know, an incredible story of how small the world can sometimes be. But we're going to get straight into it because I really like the concept of this. So this is sort of marketed as a reverse city builder, and as you can see, your goal is to rejuvenate the wasteland by converting the landscape into greenery. So when we start out, it looks like this. Everything is sort of dry and desolate, and you can see you have these kind of dry riverbeds, and yeah, there's not much going on. And the whole point of the game is to basically move through these stages. So there are certain things that you can build that rejuvenates the wasteland, and eventually you have to collect all of the things that you've built to basically bring things back to just a sort of perfectly balanced natural ecosystem here. So we're going to have a quick look, and I think I want to start by creating some rivers. I can see up here, I may need to look into how I'm going to get up here and build things up here, and you'll see as I play the game what the sort of strategic elements to it is. Now, it's not a particularly, I don't want to say it's not a challenging game, because there is challenge to it. You have to think a bit, but it's not challenging to the point of being frustrating. I do think it is intended to be more relaxing, and I'm glad that they went for that approach, because I do think that's where this game really shines. So we're just going to go ahead. So you need power pretty much for everything, and this is going to allow us to build one of these that's going to fill up the rivers for us. So it helps if you're putting something on higher ground. It'll basically make the water flow further, and it makes the most sense for me to place it here, because it means I can fill up this part of the river as well, and then get it to extend as far as I can into this river. So you're just going to see that this just looks fantastic. I love the way that this game is animated. And I think we're going to go ahead and do this for a couple of these. So we'll do another one up here. What's the best placement for this one? Maybe over here. And we'll do another one here. That's not going to make a huge difference. So you get some points for everything that you rejuvenate. You get these basically leaf points, I guess, and then you have to spend them to build things as well. And we'll put another one here. This is such a good looking game. And I have actually played this quite a bit, and that's kind of part of the story that I want to tell here, and I'm going to get to that in a second. I just need to think about what the best placement is, because up here I need to figure out a way for me. I don't want to put this in I don't want to have too much overlap with these. So let me put one up here and see if we can get another one on here then. Yes, we can. So this would probably make the most sense to have somewhere over here. And I don't really need the water over here. We're going to start rejuvenating sort of the ground itself soon as well. So we put this one over here, and we'll extend this river. I think this should cover most of the rivers then. I generally like to start with this. I do like the way the water looks in the game. And you can extend the rivers as well, but we're not going to do that just yet. We will get to that a little bit later on. So then what you can also do is we can now basically start with the soil. So you'll see that this one basically cleanses the wasteland of toxins and whatever, and that allows you to then go ahead and get some greenery on this. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Maybe we'll put one here, and we get another one sort of maybe down here somewhere. Actually, we may as well get one here. And then try to extend it on this side as well. I wonder if I place another one here, if that will sort of overlap on this side. Might as well. You don't have to be too precise. That's one of the things that I like, is you don't have to spend hours thinking through it. And when they introduce the full game, and I'm assuming, you know, there's going to be more wastelands that you can reclaim, at least that's the way it looks. I hope that they don't try to go for something that's too challenging, because I think that the whole vibe of it being quite relaxing is the best part of this game. There's a lot of these types of games that's really puzzle focused and where you really have to think. And I don't think we need another one, especially when it's this peaceful and it looks this great. I just like this to be quite simple. Not to the point where you don't have to think about it at all, but yeah, it's mostly quite a relaxing experience. So anyway, the story that I wanted to tell about this game is that so I saw this on E3, I got it, and I started playing the demo, and my daughter, who's about 5 years old now, she'll be 6 later this year, but she sort of walked in and she saw this and she really liked it. So basically this week, every evening she would come in and she would say, hey, you know, can we play this game again? And because she really likes it, and you'll see later on you get some animals and so on as well, as you're basically reclaiming the wasteland. And she just really loves it. And I never made the connection that the person, one of the programmers that works on this game, is actually somebody that I've known for a long time. It was one of my best friends for a long time in my life. So, and it's also the reason why I initially got Steam. Because the company that works on this, Free Lives, one of the programmers, I'm not sure if he's the lead programmer, I've sort of lost touch of him over the years, and I actually reached out to him today just to see how he's doing as well, and sort of give him this feedback that my daughter loves this game. But it's quite an interesting story, because I met him in pre-primary school. I think it was actually the school that I went to before pre-primary school, which was some sort of daycare. And I remember that we met because we kind of got in trouble, and both of us were made to sit in this corner, and we sort of met there, and we were friends for a really long time. I think sort of through, you know, pre-primary school, primary school, into high school as well, and we kind of lost touch from there as we went into university. And I remember that when he was working for Free Lives, they were working on this game called Broforce, and I found out that this was being released into early access. And I decided that I would support the game, of course, because I've known this guy for a long time, and, you know, both me and him have always been interested in games. So I, just for this game, just for Broforce at the time, I decided to install Steam. I created an account and I bought the game so that I could support them. And of course, if you know anything about Broforce, you'll know that the game was a huge success. It did incredibly well on Steam. I know they were for a long time within the top sellers lists on Steam as well. I'm not sure how good a job I'm doing on the placements over here as I'm telling this story. So yeah, I mean, and that, having Steam installed, and this was, I don't know, like maybe a decade ago, made a huge difference to my experiences with gaming, because this is the first time that I truly got introduced to the concept of indie games. And since then, you know, these days, I hardly ever play mainstream games, because I just feel like whatever is on, you know, the indie game or whatever indie developers are making, they can be so much more specific. They can make really niche content. All of the really mainstream game developers, they can't really afford to take risks. They have to create stuff that appeals to a really broad audience. And sometimes it's just great to play stuff maybe a little bit like Terra Nil. It's not gonna be for everyone, but it's really unique experiences. And I think being on Steam has really changed gaming for me a lot. And it's made it really enjoyable in a different way to what I was used to. And yeah, anyway, I mean, sort of fast forward to today, where I probably own, I don't know, like a couple of 100 games on Steam. and this game, and it was just crazy for me that, you know, it's been such a long time, and this guy that, or I'm playing this game that my daughter loves, and this guy that I knew, you know, back in primary school, he, you know, he probably worked on it. So it was just crazy for me, like, how small the world actually is, because at no point I didn't even think about the fact that this was the same company when I got this game. But yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, one of those things. It's just weird, like how many people you are actually connected to in the world, and sometimes how small things can feel when you get these experiences. But anyway, that's kind of my story about this. Back to the game. So what we're currently doing, so you can see on the left-hand side here, this is the percentage of greenery coverage that we need to, or that we've achieved out of the target. So you don't need 100% to move up to the next stage, but you do need, or it needs, or at least to the sort of next, what do you call it, tier over here. But you do need a fair amount. Just trying to get a good spread here, maybe like this. And that'll sort of then unlock new things that we can do. And I actually think that this map seed that we got here is pretty good. Let me just see. It would be good if I could do something to the soil over here, but I don't think that's going to work out. So maybe if I position this in a different way, kind of like this. If you're shouting at the screen now because I'm not positioning this in a good way, I'm sorry. It is what it is, I guess. Still getting used to the game, but as I said, you don't have to be perfect in your placements. The game is fairly forgiving in that way, and I think we're getting very close. We're on 93% here, so pretty soon we're going to be able to move into this next tier that I've been talking about. And this is, so the first thing you probably want to do when you get here, so you get a couple of new things that you can build, and you need to create coverage of these different biomes. But I'm going to start by building this, which is a research center, and that gives you a couple of upgrades, but let me just see what's the best place. I'm probably going to build this on something that's dry, something that I probably won't fill with greenery over here. It just needs to have power. And you'll see, so if you hover over this, it reduces the cost of certain things that you can build, but it also makes this item smaller, which you can use to create rivers, and that's important because that'll allow you to access areas that you couldn't previously access. So I'm going to try to use this here, and I'll show you how this allows you to access areas that you couldn't access. So we're going to try to extend this river a little bit. I mean, I may not even need to do that, because the thing is, you can use it in combination with the calcifier, which then allows you to create some rocks that you can use to create more power, and that will allow you to expand further. So we're going to get one over here, so you'll see how this works. And okay, so that's fine. Let's just see what else is kind of hard to reach. There's kind of a dry spot up there that we probably need to get to. I'm not seeing an easy way of getting to that. The thing is, it's better to use these actually, what are these called? The excavators early on, because if you don't, then every time you use this, it basically creates some dry area around it, which eventually will get sorted out anyway, but I do think it would be nice if I can just extend one of these rivers, maybe get something going up in there, but you know, the other option is I can just create my own river. Like, I can literally just put this anywhere, and I think that is maybe what I'm going to do. I kind of want the power to be over here so that I can fill up some of these gaps, but I don't even know if it's going to be necessary right now. Let's ignore that. We don't need to do that for now. So we'll continue filling up whatever good soil we have. Just taking care of this, because that'll probably make things easier for us going forward. So let's get another one here. And I think this is good enough. As I said, you can probably do a better job on the placements, but I'm just kind of doing anything that works right now. So, okay, so now the different biomes. Now, the thing is that we probably want to start with the forest because we need to burn stuff down for that, unfortunately. I don't want to burn too much, and the rivers and so on can kind of make it a controlled burn. Now the big question is, will this area actually be big enough for us to create the forest area that we need? And I'm not sure if it will be. It might be a little bit safer if I do it here. I'm pretty sure this should give me enough space. And what I'm going to need is I need one of these trees. So there's a couple of things. I'm going to need one of these trees, and we're going to use that to create some bees and flowers. Yeah, we'll put it here. And then we'll create some buildings. So here we need one of these, and then we need this to create the actual fire. And that'll allow us to create the forest biome. That's interesting, this building itself is not burning down. I thought that the solar amplifier would burn down as well. I should have placed it up here then. But usually there's quite a bit of margin for error in this game. Oh no, I didn't see this. I'm actually going to burn down this whole piece as well. This is way more than we need. Hopefully I can still salvage this. I think I should be able to. So let's have a look here. Do this. Trying to cover as much as I can. So already we pretty much have enough forest biome. So we'll put like one more here. Should I put it this side? We can put one more here. And then we are sorted on the forest biome for now. And we unnecessarily burnt down all of this as well. So can I basically... Are we able to... See, this is the big question, if I can rebuild all of this, and it does look like I can. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Because this, okay, now the problem is we still, oh, I can still use this tree, that's good. Didn't we have another one up here? Or is this everything we had? I guess if I could rebuild this one, that would be ideal, but it doesn't look like I can. The other option is to extend one of these rivers and try to create more greenery over here, and I do think I want to try to do that. Just so that you can see how this works. So that's created a little bit of wasteland over there, but don't worry about that too much. We will sort that out. We're going to go ahead and use the calcifier. This is going to create a lot of rocks. I don't know if I wanted to create that much. How about we... Oh no, I can't do this either because the power is too far away. It's worth, I think, maybe wasting one of these. Oh, still power is too far away, so never mind. We are going to use the calcifier over here and create a lot of rocks. I kind of feel like it's almost better if I do it this way, although I do want it to be down here. So we'll do this. And then we can get some more power on here, and this will allow us to extend basically this. That's nice. That's kind of what I wanted to do. We'll get one more over here, I think. Alright, so can I not place this here? Okay, that's too bad. So you definitely want to make sure when you're doing the forest fire that you're keeping that fairly controlled. But should still be okay. It's the best placement for this. Should I maybe have it in this shape? I think either way it's not ideal. And then we can have one like this down here. Okay, the thing is, the ones that are close to the water, sometimes you do want to use that. So I actually think that it might be better if I get the bees over here, because it's going to be more difficult for me to get kind of, I don't know what this part is, if it's what do you call that biome? Let's just swap over here. Wetland, so it's the wetland biome basically, but here we're going to create more of the flowers and the bees. We still need quite a bit more. Over here I think is a good spot as well for that. Okay, we're getting very close. Maybe I can do a little bit more up here. I don't think I can do wetland here. Something else about the wetland that you just need to be aware of is you can't build new rivers through it. So I sort of realized that the hard way as well. So it's just something to be aware of. Let's see if I create here. That'll be enough. It looks like it. I'm not sure if we've quite reached a goal there. I think we need a little bit more still. And actually, I missed an opportunity here as well. Build this here. I should have probably done this before, but this will do as well. And now we can... Actually, this may be a good place for wetland, but I just need to make sure that I can clean up all of this stuff afterwards as well. I think so rather maybe I will still use this to create more of this. That should be just enough. Okay, so that's checked off. Now we just need to do the wetlands. So we can create some here. That looks really nice. And can definitely create some more over here. Let's see where else. This is where maybe I want to extend some rivers as well, but I think we'll still be okay here. We still need quite a bit more. Gonna need to figure that out. I don't think this is close enough to this river. And is there a way for me to get power down here? It does look like it. So if we do this, we create some power. We'll extend this a little bit. And then we'll just make sure that we place this close to the water actually. Or close enough to the water at least. I think this should be close enough. And then hopefully this can become more wetlands. Yeah, so that works. That's not gonna work, that won't work. We still need quite a bit more, I think. Maybe if we could have something over here. I could probably just place one of the calcifiers here. Let's see. I think this will do. Like that. So get some more power. And we'll have this up here. Create more here. And again, then we just want this to be fairly close to the water. Like that, maybe. Perfect. Okay, and there we go. Still not enough though. Is there another place where I can get this? Well, surely this should be close enough to the water. Yes, it is. There we go. Okay, so we're getting close to the end of it now. Basically, so first of all, the temperature is where it needs to be, as it seems to be on this level at least, which is kind of the demo level. So you can go and get this game for free on Steam right now. And it basically allows you to play this, I don't know what you want to call it, like scenario level, biome, something. But we're going to have to increase the humidity here, and you preferably want to do that close to water or the wetlands. So we're going to place these pylons. We'll put the first one here, and you'll see that's going to increase the humidity. And once we get it high enough, we're actually going to get some rain. which will then help us fill in all of these areas that we couldn't previously cover in green. Is that? Yep, there we go. So you can hear the thunder. Let's just have a look as this starts to transform now. And basically at this point, since everything is the way it needs to be, we just need to get rid of this sort of human footprint that we've created. So we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up everything else that we've done. We'll just be leaving behind all of this greenery. But you'll see all of these tiles are now being converted into greenery as well. So that's gonna give us a lot of additional points. And here you can sort of see, and this is one of the things that my daughter loves about this as well, is that you sort of get the birds coming out, you have some lots of animal life. I think you can see some bears as well, usually in the forest. Not sure if I'm just missing it now, but they should be. And then yeah, you'll have fish in the rivers, frogs in the wetland. Yeah, really nice. So okay, we're gonna start cleaning up. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best place to build the airship, because everything, so the way this works is I need a fairly large space to build this on, and I think this will work. Ideally you wouldn't want this to be up in the corner. It's probably better in the middle of the map, but it really doesn't matter. It just determines the amount of time it's going to take for your little ship to go back and forth. And maybe I'll put this one down here. So we'll put it over here. We need to put the ship next to it. I think you can only have one of these. And then you need to start collecting stuff. So a cool trick that I saw is, so eventually your ship needs to pick this up, but one way, if you want to get further inland like this, is you can place it over here to collect some stuff, and then you can place another one to collect that one along with some other stuff, and sort of work your way back towards the river. And so we do this over here. Actually, we can just continue doing this all the way through the map, but I think now it should be close enough that, yeah, if I send this ship over here, it can actually pick that up. So we are going to do that. And then we're just going to continue cleaning up over here. So again, we'll start a little bit further out here. Let's put one here. Get another one that can take most of this. I wonder, is it going to be able to reach? You can build these so that it can go up waterfalls as well, but I don't actually think that's necessary in this case. He should be able to reach this tile. And then of course we can send him over here as well. Now the forest biome is usually where... So initially I thought that you had to get rivers into all of this, but since you can use this little trick just to keep moving this around, that works just as well. Just make sure that you keep capturing the last one. You can have another one here. We'll just make sure there's no waterfall that it needs to get through to get here, right? But I mean, I have plenty of points available that I can do it this way, so it should be fine. There we go. So we'll come and pick up this one as well. So it's busy using these materials to build that airship for us. And let's start cleaning up from this side as well. It is a really satisfying game to play. It's just, you know, I was actually wondering as I was playing it for the first time if the developers should have included a demo, because I feel like this demo offers so much and it's so replayable that maybe they made a mistake, because you might sort of play it so much that you don't want to come back to it again. But, you know, the way I felt, even before I realized that, you know, I know somebody on the development team, about this game is that because I've enjoyed it so much, if they release it, even if I have no interest in playing it anymore, I'll probably still buy it just to support the developers. But yeah, I mean, I do think that if they add some other areas, even if it was the same game mechanics, but it just looks a little bit different, I would still be interested to play that. Just because it's such a nice game to just relax with. So we're getting close to the end. Now it will start highlighting, as you can see, for us where we need to collect stuff. I'm not actually doing the best placement here of everything, but... Is there anything else? Oh, we missed this one. Put this here. I think that's it. So I think we're basically done. Yeah, and that's... I don't know how much time this took. I didn't check. I'll have to check on the recording after, but I think it was... Yeah, so basically now we can launch this ship, but we're just going to have a quick look. Yeah, so complete transformation from what it was. I still don't see... Oh, there's the bear. If you were interested in knowing what the bear looks like. So now you've sort of restored balance to the world, and you've got a little bit of everything. And I'm assuming, so you'll see as we exit here what's sort of planned for the full game. So we're going to hit launch here. Which will send up this... I don't know actually what this is called. I didn't check now again. Some sort of airship. But I don't know if the idea is that this would fly to the next sort of mass of land that you'll then do the same thing with. So it's just picking up the little boat, and then it should make its way across. But yeah, I think that the sound design, the art style, the animation in this game, together with some really solid, polished gameplay, it just makes for a really good game. It is, I mean, like I said, it's a free demo that you can get right now. I don't know how much it's going to sell for, but I'm betting it's going to be worth it. So it sort of zooms out, and this will take us to the world view. And this is kind of where the demo then ends. So it shows us this first piece of land, and I don't know if these other 5 pieces of land that we can see right now, if that's going to be the full game or if there's anything more to it. But either way, I'm pretty excited about this one. So yeah, I mean, that is Terra Nil. If you do like this kind of content, as always, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you for the next video.